Okay, I am joined today by Ammari Diedrick, heading into a second bout with OKTAGON next Saturday as we record this. Taking on Daniel Hromek in Birmingham, 20th of April, OKTAGON 56. Ammari, how you doing today? Just a little over a week away.
I'm all good, bro. You know what I mean? Camp's coming to a close, so you're just getting tired, ready to get it done. You know what I mean? Things like that. But all in all, we're mentally locked in. We're all ready. You know, the spirit's high, the team morale's high, and we're gonna go in there and do what we need to do.
Yeah, obviously you're down there at Team Renegade. Just kind of how's the vibe of this camp and just how's the vibe down there at Team Renegade?
The vibe's always good, man. I'm with Renegade twice a week, so
Yeah.
I'm mainly there for my wrestling, sparring as
Yeah.
well. But sparring's just here, there, everywhere, so that don't really matter. But yeah, man, the morale's good, and then obviously I'm my base in fourth dimension, so the morale's high. You know,
Yeah.
that's how it used to be. That's what I always wanted it to be, no matter what. When it's time for war, and yeah, man, it's bang on.
Yeah, obviously you made your debut with OKTAGON back in December. You took on a guy with a lot more MMA experience than yourself. Um, Now we're at the next one. How do you reflect on that last fight?
I look at that as well. With the guy that I'm fighting now, I look at it like he's not fought, no one not fought. Even in his 50 tie fight, what did you achieve in those 50 fights? You've not been nowhere with it. You've not done nothing. You've not fought no one. I've had 28 tie and K1 fights and I reached glory with it. So that being said, your skill set might be good. I'm not gonna say you're a bum because you're not, because at the end of the day you're a good tough fighter, but you've not done what I've done. You've not fought who I fought. You know what I mean? Even in MMA, we've got the same record. Obviously, he's 3-3. I'm 5-2 and whatnot. But in those MMA fights, my debut fight was against the number seven guy, the guy who fought for the title twice. Granted, he didn't win it, but I fought for the title challenger, and he fought for his life. You know what I mean? I gave him 10%, and he still struggled. At no point in time was he gonna be able to finish me. Not on the feet, not even on the ground. All he had to do was lay and pray. So this guy now, I'm just gonna have to go in there and show him levels, you know. And my level is high. But now we understand that we can stand with the top 10 guys, and that's it, you know.
Yeah, obviously you talk about his Muay Thai background. Obviously, we know your kickboxing background. It's an interesting striking matchup, isn't it? What do you make of that?
I think people forget I've come from Thai boxing myself. That was my thing. But my style molded into
Yeah.
a kickboxing style. You know what I mean? We was heavy boxing and low kicks at my gym. I wasn't the typical teep for a body kick. That's just
Yeah.
the standard Thai shit where it was okay, let's just teep, let's score a body kick. I wasn't interested in that. My style was to go out there and fight. Hence why I then developed a kickboxing style. You know, I was going out to Holland and beating the Dutch at their own style. So it's a clash of styles, yes, but this is an MMA fight. So this is about being a mixed martial artist. Let's showcase more skills, not just okay, let's just stand and bang. If you want to stand and bang, I'm gonna beat you all day, bro. Let's be honest, because you're not gonna outdog me, you're not gonna outwar me. So if you want to do that, we can do that. Happy days. Makes my life easier. But I think he will try and showcase a bit more than the striking. And I want to go out there and showcase a bit more than just striking.
You say you want to obviously showcase more than your striking there. You're still early in your MMA career, just a
Mm-hmm.
couple years since your first pro fight. And at that point, especially, you tend to see a lot of development between fights. So if you had to evaluate the other areas of your game, what would you, if you had to just, because if people haven't seen as much of your grappling, how would you evaluate your grappling at this point?
My grappling's still building. My wrestling on the other hand is very good. You see in the last fight, the guy who took me down from my mistake, so to speak. He couldn't take me down off his own. He shot for double legs. He was never getting a double leg on me. It don't matter who you are. Anyone I thought you shot for a double, you're not gonna get it because that's it. My wrestling defense is on point. Now we went back to the drum board to work on the grappling side of things. You know, I mean, wrestling's getting there. You know, it can be better because we're always learning. But I focus a lot more on the jits, the grappling side of things on within this camp. So yeah, man.
Yeah, so obviously you talk about the development there. When you think back to the Ammari Diedrick we saw in the last fight, what's going to be different about the guy that's stepping into the cage on Saturday?
The debut's out of the way first and foremost. So that
Yeah,
situation is just been and gone, you know, getting used to. I think that was my debut on this worldwide promotion, which is essentially the UFC of New York. At the end of the day, you know, 15,000 fans, like enemy territory, and there's
did that
always
affect you? Did that affect you in the moment, do you feel?
I mean, listen, I guess it did because I didn't really do much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just stood there just trying to be a tank and it didn't really pay off, you know. So I think the whole situation was just not right. It was the right fight, wrong time, you know, because at the end of the day, we didn't go out there and get stopped in the first round. We did the whole round, mate, and at the end of the day, I won the second round. So with that being said, if I fought him again, which I will come across him again, it's going to be a different outcome. You know, like I said, the debut's been and gone now. We know how the show runs. We know how it operates. Now it's just time to go in there and do what we need to do with this one now.
Yeah. Obviously, it's your first fight with OKTAGON in the UK. They're making huge strides in the UK. Like you said, they're very established in Europe, but at the minute, the UK is a real focus for them. We see this with, the big arenas they're in. You're going to be at the Resorts World Arena in Birmingham. It's a really big place. They're pretty aggressive with some of the guys they're signing from other promotions in the UK as well. Just talk from the inside about that experience with OKTAGON so far.
The fact that they're trying to make waves in the UK is good, but I feel like they still need to just do things a bit different. You know, the way they approach it here is not the way that they've done it in Europe is not necessarily going to work in the UK. The UK is a tough crowd. It's a very tough crowd, man. You know what I mean? Even UFC comes in and doesn't sell out actual every single seat in the arena, no matter where we are. So, with that being said, they just got to approach things differently. You know, sort out the main cards, put certain people in main events instead of certain people, and just the work kind of like that, man. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's good to be on home soil. You know, I wasn't really interested at first when they offered me this fight on Birmingham, but the more I looked at it, it's actually good to fight on home soil, fighting in an arena, going from amateurs and just now fighting in a massive arena in the UK is a different thing. Whereas, of course, I've always been in arenas in Europe and whatnot, but now fighting in one at home soil, like an hour away from my house, it's just a real feeling. So it is good, man. I can't lie, but I still do prefer the European shows, man. It's a crazy experience.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, people see the kind of crowds that they're able to pull, over there in the Czech Republic, things like that. Those shows just look crazy. And hopefully we get to a time that, they can have a crowd like that in the UK. And it's growing, but
It will grow. It will grow. I feel like as long as it just, what I mean, just firm it out. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy for them.
yeah.
Just firm it. Build the stars they need to do. Just keep putting on the cards. Just come to the UK. Just keep going to different places. It'll be good, man. I think that go to Ireland as well. Just go to places where it can build, man. And then once this here, man, you're gonna give the run. You're gonna give PFR the run for the money, UFC a run for the money. That's the main thing, I think that's their main competitors right now. So if you lot can really establish yourself in the UK like you have in Germany and Czech Republic, then the sky's the limit.
Yeah, but obviously you've been a part of lots of organizations around Europe, obviously Aries, Levels, even Glory, all
Yeah,
had all big shows in their respective territories. How does OKTAGON compare to those three?
different. It's a different level, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Aries levels they will feed the promotions, whereas Octagon's the promotion where you can finish your career. You know what I mean? There's guys there. You got Lawson Cater. He's got potential to go UFC, but he's outright
Yeah.
said I'm not going there. You don't have to go UFC anymore. Whereas there's other platforms now. You've got Octagon, you've got PFL, you've got KSW. Of course, you've got UFC still rising if you want to go to Japan. So there's options to stay at places. Be in the talks of being one of the greatest no matter what. If you can be one of the best, if I can be one of the best welterweights in Europe, I'm happy days. You know what I mean? And that's what I need. From once people say to you, oh, you should be in the UFC, my job's done then, bro. Clearly, you lot think I'm one of the best in the world, mate. I don't need to go there. So I can stay here and just make my stupid amounts of money in this promotion rather than going and getting some crazy amount less, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I feel like right now, Octagon's doing the thing. They understand that they need to look after the fighters. They need to just do things where you're steering people away from going to these other promotions. And I think they'll be able to do it, man.
Yeah, obviously there's a big card here in the UK. Aaron Abbey and Sam Creasy, the headliner, but perhaps the biggest talking point coming into this card has been the situation with Akon Wanless and Sahil Siraj. What do you make of that whole thing?
They called my guy, but I don't
Yeah.
know, man. There's certain people you don't really cross, man. And the Swedish guys, Resler in particular, there's certain people you don't really cross. You know what I mean? I hope Octagon doesn't put a show in Sweden and it'll be good, man. So yeah, I feel like people are crossing lines nowadays, and then there's people that you kind of can't cross lines with. Those people are some that you don't really kind of cross the line with. You just got to keep it the way it is. But it's helped build up the fight, you know. So from a business standpoint, it's done wonders. But I feel like outside it's done a lot more as well. You know what I mean? I think these guys are taking it very, very personal. So I feel like yes, it's dangerous territory for him in certain countries now. So I feel like he just needs to just use it, build it up in this, build up the hype in this last week, you know, use it, beat this guy, and he's good, man. And just stay away from Sweden. that's my advice, man. Stay away.
Yeah, and obviously for yourself, getting to share the card with Akon, that's gonna be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, man, it's good. Candace, it's my boy, you know what I mean? We're teammates. So I've not been on card with a teammate for years, you know what I mean? Like I said, I've
Yeah.
been on Aries, levels, glory, whatnot. And it's always just, don't get me wrong, there's been UK guys there, but not someone I've actually trained with. So whereas now it's got Liam Metabar, it's also got me, Akon, Liam. So that in itself is there's three of us that train together. So now it's just time to go out there, read the walls and showcase what we've actually been doing.
Yeah, I guess that's the benefit of having the show so close, right? Obviously, the show's in Birmingham, Team Renegades based in Birmingham, and then that's obviously the effect of someone like Leon. That all trickles down, and people are paying more attention to Renegade, and these guys are getting on bigger shows.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. At the end of the day, Leon's kind of set the precedent now. We've seen that you can be a UFC world champion from just being at home. You're literally just being at home, you know. So I feel like from that now, it's opened the doors for a lot of us in the UK scene, and I think a lot of us is gonna try and follow now. You got Tom Breeze and PFL. He's gonna try and win that $1 million tournament.
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
those guys over
big fight.
in
Yeah,
yeah,
big fight
man,
for
and
Tom
you got
tomorrow. Yeah,
yeah, man. So and you got those guys over here in Octagon. So right now, you can have a lot of world champions in different promotions coming out of the UK. You know what I mean? So and I think Leon's kind of just set it. Cool. We know it can be done. He's done it at the highest level. So now let's go and do it ourselves. You know, that's the goal.
perfect. To bring it back to your fight, as we just kind of wrap up here, give us the hard sell. We talked about the style matchup between yourself and your opponent. When Ammari Diedrick and Daniel Hromek step into the cage, give us the hard sell. What can fans expect?
Me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I foresee a dominant victory. That's the main thing for me. If it's gotta be violent and bloody, it's gonna get violent and bloody. But for me, it's gonna go. I'm just gonna go out there and make sure it's a dominant victory. You know what I mean? Wherever it goes the distance, I don't really care. I'm ready for 3 rounds of this non-stop action. But for me, I see a dominant victory, man. You know what I mean? Whether I be standing, whether I be on the ground, and that's it. And like I said, if it needs to get violent and bloody, then it's gonna get that no matter what.
Send the fans home happy, right?
That's it, man. At the end of the day, I think a lot of us forget we're here to entertain. And me, I like to entertain. You know, that's always been my thing. I always try to go out there and entertain, whereas a lot of guys try and play it safe. Whereas me, I want to make sure I stand my ground as being a modern day warrior at the end of the day. So yeah, man, it's I'm here to entertain. I'm here to just make it a show, and that's it. That's why my name's, if not the biggest on the card. Let's be honest.
Right up there if it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for taking the time. Best of luck on Saturday night, man.
Thank you, my brother.